Mr. Speaker, at this time, I'm pleased to yield 5 minutes to the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Johnson.
The gentleman from Ohio is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise in strong support of the reversing President Obama's Offshore Moratorium Act, which will lift the President's ban on new offshore drilling by requiring the administration to do what my constituents in eastern and southeastern Ohio have been calling for Congress to do: open up for production the areas that contain the most oil and natural gas resources right here in America. The hardworking people of my district have made it abundantly clear that their number one concern is the rising price of gas at the pumps. Over the past week, this side of the aisle has begun to show the American people that we are serious about addressing our energy crisis, and we will not succumb to bringing up bogus proposals that may poll well in the court of public opinion but only result in higher gas prices. In 2008, our country was also experiencing record high prices at the pump. And in logical, common-sense response to those record high prices, that Congress and that President took action to end a decades-long drilling ban on offshore by opening up new areas in the Atlantic and the Pacific Ocean for exploration and production. Unfortunately, this administration has reversed the will of the people and has taken steps to reinstate this moratorium from new lease sales in these offshore areas. But not only has the administration abandoned the plan to go forward with opening up new areas for production, they have also canceled previously scheduled lease sales. We are now again faced with rising prices at the pump, and instead of being able to focus on new ways to make America energy secure, we're forced to bring up legislation that will do again what Congress did 3 years ago. Mr. Speaker, recently the Secretary of the Interior testified before the Natural Resources Committee. And between his testimony and answers to questions, he made it painfully obvious that the administration does not have a real national energy strategy. Well, today, with this legislation, we're going to help the Secretary and the administration take a big step toward developing a real energy plan for America. This legislation requires the administration and the Secretary of the Interior to set specific goals on the amount of oil and natural gas production that is estimated from each of the 5-year lease plans contained in this legislation. During my 26-plus year career in the United States Air Force, we set goals and objectives, and then we set out about working hard to not only meet them but exceed them. This legislation sets the production goals at a level that is triple the level of America's current production, and therefore reduces foreign imports by 1/3. Once this legislation is adopted, we will send a signal to the world oil markets that America means business when it comes to our energy future. And I am fully confident that if we set the bar high, as this legislation does, American drive and ingenuity will rise to the occasion and will exceed this goal. If we're going to become energy secure, Mr. Speaker, we must increase our energy production, not limit it. And we need to commit ourselves to developing our own resources. That is why I strongly support the reversing President Obama's Offshore Moratorium Act, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. I'll yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman